All right, so now we would like to invite Gary from SG Tech to show more and share more about how generative AI could influence our jobs and what can we do to prepare for it. Gary, please.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
The silent conference will start now.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Yeah, my name is Gary. I'm from SG Tech Trade Association. So before I jump into this, right, just can I have a quick show of hand, although not too many people here. How many of you use generative AI on a daily basis? Okay, great. So do I. Sorry? Can you hear me? Oh, no, you need to actually get a headset from there. It's a silence conference, yeah. Yeah, so before I jump straight into the topic, maybe I'll just give you a very quick introduction about who we are, SG Tech. So SG Tech is actually the largest and leading trade association for the tech sector in Singapore. We actually represent more than 1,300 different corporate companies, right? Actually ranging from top MNCs to large enterprises and also SMEs and vibrant startups for that matter. So you can see that these are the members that we have, right? You know, like from the likes of a Google to Dell to vibrant SMEs like Inspired Tech, right? And so on and so forth. But of course, if you're interested to know more about the things that we do as a trade association, I'll be more than happy to actually share a bit more after this talk itself, yeah? So just to give you a sense of like the people who are within our community, right? These are the volunteers from the different companies who has been leading us, providing strategic directions to what we do as a trade association. So you can see our chair to our treasurer, secretary, and all that, yeah. Okay, great. So as a trade association, there are three key things that we do. First of all, we advocate and advise. Right, so basically we represent the companies to understand what their needs, what are some of the things they are looking out for, and we serve as the voice of these members' companies and represent some of all these ideas and the things that they're going to have and put it up to our various different government agencies and regulators, right? But more importantly, as a trade association, we also bring our companies for business missions, match them with different companies and provide opportunity for them in terms of the work that they do on a day-to-day basis, right? And of course, last but not least, we serve as a bridge to actually connect them, from a B2B perspective. Yeah. Right. So I think the key thing is that I was actually asked to talk about some of the tech trends, in 2024. So basically, let me just run straight into this thing. I'm not sure if anybody actually read about this Straits Times article, on 16 October that talked about why are tech companies in Singapore laying off people? Okay. So if you have actually read this article, some of the key takeaways I personally feel from this, right, is that there are various different underlying factors that's causing, the reduction of manpower within different tech companies. Some of these key factors, right, would be like the rise of application of AI, right? Things like your very traditional roles, like your communication roles, your customer success roles, right? Basic data analyst roles and such, right, has been change, right? It has evolved because of the rise of generative AI in this sense, right? And then AI in this sense can also help a lot of professionals perform their job a lot better, right? So basically these are some of the key takeaways that has caused and be some of the factors that companies are increasingly so-called like reducing their manpower workforce in this case. And then from this study, which is from McKinsey, you can see that these are top 15 tech trends. And generative AI and applied AI are actually scored number 1 and 2, right? As you can see based on the rest of the things, which I think some of you has probably heard from some of the other speakers earlier about as well, okay? Right. And then I zoom into this the impact of AI as generative AI and the key, why is it so important right now? You can see that based on the adoption score in 2023 itself, right, it's actually ranked number 4 itself, right? And then, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So in terms of the kind of investments that we are looking at about almost like close to 36 billion worth of investment. And then more importantly, what I want to address today is in terms of the jobs that's increasingly, up and up and coming because of the role of generative AI in this sense, right? So I'm not here to really talk to you about the technicality of generative AI, but more importantly is to, okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm not here to actually talk to you about technicality of generative AI, but more importantly, from my perspective as a trade association, we're here to share more how this actually impact company and individual from a job skills perspective, yeah? Okay, so who uses ChatGPT? Okay, right, Gemini? Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I want to do is that you see, how can I help you today, right? So if I were to say, show me a group of enthusiastic participants at a Gen AI seminar, probably they'll generate something like that for you, right? But then if I go on to a second prompt, I say, can you repeat them in Singapore? Then probably they will give you this, like something like that, right? And then I say, make them more enthusiastic, like it's the best, seminar ever. Probably they can come with something like that. So ultimately, at the end of the day, about generative AI is about using the right prompts, right? So what exactly in this case is Gen AI, right? So AI, in a very traditional sense, follow a very specific set of rules, right? Like for example, using cooking, recipe as one of the way to look at it is like, you tell them to like crack an egg, cook for 2 minutes, right? Put in an ice bath and all that. They'll probably come up with something like that, like an automated version of that. But when it comes to generative AI, it's very learning based, right? So it's able to come up with a new recipe based on your dietary preferences, based on the set of data that you can put inside, based on the various things that you can prompt it, and then they can come up with something and create something for you. So you can see that Gen AI requires a range of human in-the-loop intervention, from low intervention, things like automation, all the way to creating and even in the form of advisory as well. Okay. So using marketing as an example, right, it can actually help to automate your marketing processes such as SEO, A/B testing. It can actually create personal recommendation based on the behavior of customers, of the businesses and all that. It can even come up with new product recommendation and description to actually help you to improve your customer engagement in this sense, right? So more importantly today I want to share is that how would Gen AI actually affect the workforce, right? So you can see that based on the World Economic Forums, right, it has indicated that 85 million of the job has been lost due to AI revolution between 2020 to 2025. But more importantly, we can see that there's 97 jobs that's been created due to AI revolution itself. So what does this mean for us, right? It means that even for those jobs that are not being lost, it indicates that 60% of the workforce will be affected, right, because of generative AI in this sense. Okay. So how are companies preparing for generative AI? So, okay, this is based on a study that SG Tech does, okay, a tech poll. So we actually asked among our 1,300 companies, right, within SG Tech community, like, does your company intend to build generative AI capabilities in 2024, right? So this is actually the results that we have. 76% of our community says yes, right? But 19% say they're unsure and 5% say they are no to that. But, okay? So, and we further actually went out to find out from this group of companies that what are the top 4 functions when you're looking at Gen AI innovation. So these are the top 4 functions which they're currently looking at. Customer service and support, marketing, PR and communications, operations and administration, and the last one is, of course, IT, okay? And what does this mean for you from an individual perspective and also from a company perspective? It just means that, right, ultimately we need to also understand in general what is the generative AI talent landscape. Okay, of course, at the very top tier, you have all the various different tech people, the one with the tech skills, one who develop all the different tech for you, the Gen AI developers themselves, right? Then we have the power user who really use generative AI on a day-to-day basis. And what do you mean by that? It means that they need to have a specific domain knowledge and expertise to be able to use it and generate the kind of solutions which they need to produce for the company itself, right? And last but not least, which most of us here are, we are the general user. We use it on a day-to-day basis to help us create certain solutions, to simplify some of our tasks, to make sure that we can actually be more efficient and effective in our work on a day-to-day basis, right? And right now, this is where most of us need to be, okay? So when it comes to general user, we don't need to know the coding, we don't need to know programming, we don't even need to know how to manage database. We just need to know how to use the right prompt, okay? Inside your current role, for example, they already have all the data. Use it with your awareness and purpose. But more importantly, what we realize is that it's important to be a very responsible of Gen AI, because the thing is that a lot of people just key in certain things and they just take it wholesale, like, oh, this is what has been generated. But how true it is, how accurate it is also up to our individual discretion in this sense, right? So personally, I feel that what's most important, these are the points. Understand the basis behind the data which the output was generated, right? And the second thing is that you must always verify and fact check, right, the content that's being generated when you are trying to use a generative AI. And then the last thing is you have to consider the context in which the output will be used in your day-to-day basis and in your work as well. Okay. So as an individual, what can we do to improve ourselves, right, in this era of generative AI? So basically, for those who don't even know what is going on, what to do, of course, there are various different beginning lessons, skills and workshops that you can actually think about and consider enrolling to understand generative AI more and how to use it effectively. And of course, some of the things that, if you are going on to to be more proficient, then of course, other kind of workshops that we can look at, the one that's here, introductions to be artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning begins with me, all these things. These are the various different workshops. In fact, we have provided a QR code which you can scan, right, to actually understand the various different catalog of courses that we actually have curated for most of our community and for our members company as well. Okay? Right. Okay. So this is what we always believe, and I think you probably have heard it as well, right? AI will not replace people, but people who use AI will replace people who don't. So it's actually really important that everybody start, experimenting with this as well. Okay, so from SGTech itself, right, from a skills perspective, we have always been looking at identifying emerging skills, looking at skills in a larger community. So these are two reports that we actually have generated. One is on ESG reporting, and the other one is on generative AI for the tech workforce, which you can actually download and have a look at it and see whether it will be beneficial for you as well. Okay. Last but not least, right, before I end my sharing today, I just want to touch a little bit on skills conversion. Be it whether is it from an individual perspective or is it from a business sense, right? These are the various different programs that you can actually look into to actually help yourself or your employees to upgrade or reskill for that matter, right? So SGTech is also from a downstream level. We are also the administrator and also manage and so-called administer various different what we call career conversion program. So essentially, career conversion program is to help mid-career switchers, who have never, maybe who has previously maybe been working as a retail, or in customer service, and they would like to actually, have a head start or make a career switch to a tech sector for that matter. Right, undergoing new skills and move to new jobs that have a better career progression, right? So these are the various different career conversion programs that SGTech runs and administers since 2021. And as you can see, as a tech association, obviously, all the career conversion programs are all tech roles related. So things like digital sales and marketing executive, all the way to like very tech, like business intelligence, AI application, or even for that matter, a data protection officer, right? So how can individual benefit from this? Of course, undergo a skills conversion. But more importantly, if let's say you are looking at it from a business point of view, as a company itself, right? Largely nowadays, as I mentioned, lots of jobs are being replaced because of the rise of new skills, emerging skills as well, right? So company also need to re-look into themselves, right? When you're going through certain form of organization, like business or even digital transformation within organization, what are some of the jobs within your company that you might need to undergo a job redesign or even reskilling for your employees and individual? So let's say if you are hiring someone new, right, and you're going to train them to take on a new job role, or you have identified within the organization some of the key functions that you might want to relook on do a job redesign. These are the various different modality that you can actually participate in for a career conversion, right? So the main thing is that we want to help companies to relook into the way how the job roles that the company have within the organization. And then we will actually support you in terms of the training duration when you're actually putting your employees or your new hire undergoing training. So you can see that from a new hire perspective, we will actually support you for up to 6 months. Whereas for a job redesign and reskilling for existing employees, we'll support you up to 3 months. And how do we support you? We support you in terms of your manpower cost, which is in terms of the salary support. Okay, which I will not go too much into the details. All these things I think you can actually also find out from the various different portals, right? So these are the various different so-called criteria, which I will not run too much into it, but just also need to remember that if let's say you're hiring someone new within your organization, within your business itself, make sure that when you want to participate in a career conversion program, they must not be more than 3 months from the start of the program itself. Whereas for, like if you're looking into a job redesign, or like reskilling your existing employees, right, they must have been in the company for at least 1 year here, okay? Yeah, so these are some of the, positive examples that we have. Right, so if you would like to actually, connect with me or connect with our company, connect with our trade association, these are the various different ways of connecting that you can do that. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. I hope that is helpful. And if I will still stay around here a little bit more. If you'd like to connect with me, right, we can actually have a conversation after that. Yeah. Any question for now? Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess our startup gives like equity to our employees.
Okay,
But
I
we
think
also
this
have
sounds like a very technical question on
sure, sure.
eligibility, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
we can take this
Okay,
offline.
sure.
Yeah. Any other questions regarding? Okay, no, if not, thank you for your attention. Wish you a very great afternoon in the FinTech Festival after this.